This is a thermodynamics question. It's worth 8 marks and it runs from A through to D. So try the questions and then review when you're done. Here's A, B, and finally C and D. A is a very straightforward question. You have got to learn the definitions. It can get marks like this, but it can also give you access to application questions where you need to understand and use them. So the definition itself, the enthalpy change when 1 mole of solid ionic compound is formed from its gaseous ions. Moving forward, we have got some data here that we're going to need to build a cycle from. So we want to know the enthalpy of lattice formation of silver iodide. Let's start with that as the basis of our cycle. Now from there, I can also see that AgI solid can become its aqueous ions, so I can put those values in. And I've also got data for the silver and iodide ions going from gaseous to aqueous, so I can put those in. Now I find my two routes around the cycle because I know from Hess's law that the overall energy change is the same whichever route is taken. I'm going to highlight those as blue and green, and then I'm going to highlight the numbers that I take from them. Once I rearrange that to make X the subject, I can very quickly get to X being negative 869 kilojoules per mole. On to C, and we're talking here calculation of the enthalpy of lattice formation of silver iodide based on a perfect ionic model gives a smaller numerical value than that we've calculated. Perfect ionic model is basically saying that there is only ionic character. Now, because you can have distortion of electron clouds, you can have ionic compounds with covalent character, and AgI is one such compound. Because the iodide ion is so large, the silver ion can distort its electron cloud, essentially share some of its electrons. So because it has got some covalent character, it means in addition to the ionic character, there are stronger forces holding the lattice together. And then finally, we're on to actually tests for halide ions. The test for iodide ions and chloride and bromide ions is that you add silver nitrate. Now, chloride ions will give a white precipitate, bromide ions a cream precipitate, but iodide ions will give a yellow precipitate.